What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic Monday. We're going to start it off right by getting this defense in. Let's effing go. The draft series obviously began a couple weeks ago. We got all of the offense out. Special teams is out. Go check those bad boys out. But we're going to go through the defense here every other day. You're getting a video leading up to my guy for this draft, and then of course we'll do the live draft together. Looking forward to all of it. Hopefully you've been enjoying all of the content. Gotta get heading out to a lead here, but gonna try to put this one in here quick. Now, thank you all for tuning in, hitting the like button, sharing, subscribing, all the things you're doing to support the channel. I want to thank you for that, so thank you. And let's run right into this bad boy. Looking at the Eagles draft picks now, we know that we made a trade last week, and obviously picking up a wide receiver. So you lost a pick this year, lost a pick next year, but you still got 14 picks. And then you've got 7 the following. So 21 total picks you can trade in this draft. And you know how he's going to be moving up, down, all around. And you know those top 4 picks, with having 2 third-rounders, we have 4 in the top 100 and all of our picks in the top 200. So really looking forward to seeing how he is able to do here, how many picks he actually makes is to be seen. Now, the position we're focused on today, interior defensive lineman, and this is a position I feel the Eagles are pretty stacked at. Nobody left in free agency, and they brought back Gabe Hall and Taquan Graham, both who spent time on the practice squad last season. You got Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis was extended, Moro Ajomo back, Byron Young, and Ty Robinson, the draft pick. And I've heard some people say Robinson's a bust, this, that. Like, I don't understand where people get that stuff. You got to let people develop, and you see he's really far down the depth chart for a reason. We've got some depth. That's a good thing. So, to me, this isn't necessarily a position the Eagles have to go in, into this draft saying, oh, my God, we got to get somebody. It's, hey, if there's somebody really good that they like, definitely take them. Always look to the trenches, but this isn't a position that I feel we need to use one of our top picks on. But let's talk about it. And what I've got for you here is the list of my top 20 interior defensive linemen and where I could see the rounds that they could be going in. You've got the big boy, Caden McDonald. And see, the fun thing about this position, you could hear people argue Peter Woods, Caleb Banks, maybe even Lee Hunter or Christian Miller. I know a lot of people like them. And then Big Citrus, Dominique Orange there, Daryl Jackson, Grayson Hall. There are so many really fun guys that I do like in this draft. But again, I think the Eagles are pretty stacked. And, looking at the other side here, I think guys like Xavier Harris, Albert Regis, some off the field stuff for Xavier Harris. Maybe these guys fall. I doubt we look at Harris. I'll be real with you there. But some of these other guys, there are definitely some possibilities. Zane Durant there, Penn State, little bowling ball. And then Cameron Ball right there. But Nick Barrett, South Carolina. A lot of guys that I would be intrigued by if the Eagles were to pick them up. But in my opinion, I think this is more so where you're looking at the back end of the draft, undrafted kids to come in and compete with those other depth pieces. But you're always looking to improve. And if somebody falls, it's going to be hard to say no. Now, in my opinion, where that could possibly happen, maybe a guy like Grayson Halton, who – ooh, boy, having him with Jalen Carter would be unfair. And Jordan Davis and Moro Ajomo there, that would be ridiculous. Now, we're talking maybe if he, is falling somewhere into the 4th. I think Grayson Halton, man, he's one of those versatile pieces that even at his size, 293, 6'3", he can play a little bit of nose tackle. You can move him all across the line, 4 technique, 0 technique, anywhere in between. But this is a dude that is a good pass rusher for an interior guy. So more so the Jalen Carter, Moro Ajomo type, but he can play that Jordan Davis role too. So that's something I like. He does have some shorter arms. That's something, that stuck out a little bit. Got to work on his footwork. Some of his, hand work could be worked on, but he does have a really nice swim move. He gets off the ball nice. So I like Grayson Halton a lot. A 4'8", 240 is really insane for a guy that's 6'3", 293 coming at you. That's scary. But I don't know exactly where he'll go. But if somebody leaves him there in the 4th round, I think you got to take him. Even in the 3rd, that would make your interior D-line pretty scary as hell. It already is. I love Ajomo. So I don't know that you necessarily need to. That's why I don't have Grayson Halton here as my number 1. But a very big fan of the young man's game. 3.5 sacks even there. So no doubt. Now up next, one of the names I mentioned there, Cameron Ball. And I'm a fan of this young man. This is a nose tackle, but he can play some D tackle. You can move him around. He could play in those even fronts as well, being that 3-tech guy. I think that this is somebody more so in those later rounds that I'm talking about. He's just got, his frame. He's got to work on getting a little bit NFL built, I would say. Not a pass rusher. This is more of your run-stopping kind of guy. And obviously with nose tackles, you're not necessarily looking for a pass rush. But he is a big boy. He's got nice size, good arms, like length, the size of him. I think that he just got good pursuit, bends well. So he is somebody that could work on that pass rush. Obviously, 9 pressures, 0 sacks. We're not looking at that when we're looking at guys, here, but that are nose tackles. Obviously, 5'1", he's just not a fast guy. He's a big boy. He would be a depth piece, and this is why you would get him at the back half of the draft here. And I don't know, maybe somebody really likes him and wants to take a shot on him. He actually does have, for his size, a nice athletic testing scores. I remember he was one of the guys that he might be slow and this, that, the other thing, but he actually, when you see him play, and I'm sure the scouts are seeing it too, so maybe he doesn't fall, but I think Cameron Ball is one of those names that's being slept on, and I'd be happy to have him. Now, finishing us up here is my number 1, and this is a guy that I really would love to have him, Demonte Capehart, here in that mix as that 4th guy, or competing with Robinson and, Byron Young, whoever, to make this team. But Capehart is somebody, another guy that, dude, he's 6'5", 313. He's got nice hands and arm size. His wingspan, holy, 82 and 6/8 inches. 4.85 40. Oh my God. A 33.5-inch vertical. This dude is an athletic freak. And he's somebody that, again, not the best pass rusher, but I think he could definitely have those things worked on in the right system. And I think a system like the Eagles would be perfect for this dude. And he's very violent. This is somebody that would come onto this defense with Carter and Davis. And I think, oh my, like this is the kind of anchor that's like a blend of Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis. And we talk about his athleticism, his quickness. He is somebody that just and he was one of the top guys in combine history for a lot of his testing. This dude was nuts. But only thing is, he's only started 12 games in his college career. So he's got to work on some things. They talk about working on his pass rush, things that I definitely agree. Working on just becoming a better pass rusher. You can't just be a single guy, and especially with that athletic build. There's something to unlock there, and one of these teams is going to try to. I've got him in the 4th, 5th round. I think a team could definitely be willing to take a shot, maybe even in the 3rd. This kid, I'm really a big fan of. I think if the Eagles, are looking to add someone and, he's on their board and is falling, you got to do it, regardless of how, stacked your interior D line is. It's always best player available, right? Regardless, clearly they're going to have their big board players they like, and there's going to be certain positions they have a focal point on, but best player available. So if that's Capehart or Ball or Holton, whoever it is, I'm not against it at all. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. You got any top fits? You agree, disagree with who the top guy should be? Whatever it is, I'd love to hear from you, but all I've got for you. Now, it's going to be a really late night for me tonight. And then tomorrow is going to be crazy. So I'm going to do my best to get this Edge Rusher show together and put it out on Wednesday. We're going to keep this train rolling. But I appreciate you checking out all of the other ones. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, do me a favor, hit that like button, share it, do whatever you can to support the channel. I can't thank you enough for that. If you need anything else, you can always reach out to me. Always here for you guys as you are for me. But I hope you have yourselves a great start to your week. Have a great rest of your day. But until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there. And as always, say it with me now, sickos. Go Birds!